Listen, we on the, y'all, welcome. Hey, let me tell you, this Sunday, today, and it's my sister-in-law's birthday, first and foremost. Happy birthday, Ingrid. I love you. Oh my God, you're the best ever in the world. I got on a whole dress. I put lotion on from my thigh down because I was rushing. I be moisturized. I was rushing. Happy birthday, Ingrid. Today is a great day because it is a day we celebrate your life. Yay! Y'all better throw hearts to my sister. Put them in there and like cakes and stuff. Hey, AI Cool. Hey! Hey, y'all. Y'all. So look, I was like, I'm going to be a poet and I'm going to write some poetry and we're going to read it on a Sunday. And let me tell you why. Because Black people have a special relationship to Sunday. And I don't know whether Sunday is the beginning of the week or the end of the week. And I feel like that makes it magical, right? Because you be like, Sunday, I don't got to do nothing. But then you be like, I got to prepare for Monday. But I ain't got to do nothing. You know, it's a whole exploration. And then if you're like me, music is so intricately part of your Sunday. And my playlist is like all the parts of me. Like I wake up with the whining, some BB and CC, you know, some classic whining, some Clark Sisters. I stole a playlist from my sister, from Ayana. And then I'm like, yes, when you get to BB and CC though, you can start listening to secular music. So then I started listening to my Shaka Khan and my Melba Moore and my Donny Hathaway and everybody. And I'm feeling soulful and black. You know, I'm having an Aretha moment. I'm getting black and proud and young. And then I'm like, ooh, soul music. And then you start listening to like the best of soul from the 90s and the 80s and some Luther and some Stevie Wonder. And then you start cleaning, you know, some Alexander O'Neal, some Sherelle. That gets you a little ratchet. Because you know what they're talking about now that you grow. So you're like, oh, I want to listen to some New Jack Swing. So you listening to Teddy Riley. Now listen, once you get to Teddy Riley, it shifts everything. Between Teddy Riley and Bobby Brown, your whole thing shifts. At least for me. Because I instantly go to Rump Shaker after I listen to whatever I listen to from God. And then it just go down. Or really go up and turn up. And then somehow I end up on Sweetie by the time twerking on the dish. But I feel free. That's the point. I feel free. And I said, let's do the same thing with the poetry. Let's go through all the phases. Like we clean in our house on a Sunday. Like you just come home from church, or by home, I mean the living room, because you was looking at it online. Or you just, you know, you fresh from praise or worship and a juba or whatever you was doing. And now we just gonna do that with some poetry. So we're gonna get into the gospel, meaning the truth. We're gonna get into the twerk, because it's about to be a pretty bitch summer. I said it with my whole chest. It's a hot girl summer for some. It's we got options out here. So we're not gonna lie, and we're gonna get into it. But more importantly, we're gonna celebrate that we done made it to Sunday, y'all. So put some hearts up there, because we done made it to Sunday. And if that is not a gift, I don't know what is. I'm going to be reading mostly all new poetry, which is exciting because that means I wrote something and haven't failed my ancestors. But I'm going to start with something old. I'm going to start with a poem from my book, Small Water Woman. Ow, get at it. Ow, right? And I'm going to give 3 of these away. So we'll do a little question answer games, whatever, and you'll get an opportunity to win a free, yes, that's it, free Small Water Woman. So the first piece that I want to start with is a piece about us in this moment. You know, there's so much going on in the world, and like I said yesterday in a panel that I got to do, is that white people are white people in this country the way that they have historically white people. So now we get to respond accordingly, right? And figure out what that response will look like. But I don't want to dwell on that. I don't want to center whiteness or white people or their fuckery. What I want to do is I want to center blackness and its beauty and its joy. And even in the most difficult of times, there's a way that black people show up. And it feels like a Sunday. And so this is a shout out to all of y'all. And hopefully you'll think of your community as I read it. It's called The Way Black People Show Up. The way black folks show up Hands full with green beans, cognac, pound cake, love, mashed potatoes, faith, spaghetti, ham, lasagna, hope, wine, apple pie, peach cobbler, beef roast, prayers, and fried chicken to cover kitchen counters, potato salad and macaroni and cheese, holy offerings meant to fill your belly up because they can't fix your heart that feels broken. Shoes left at the front door, coats stacked and abandoned in the closet in a rush to lay eyes on the family, where we remember we are all family. Arms open to give hugs and grab you close. Make sure you're breathing with mystic glue like love to put you together where you were falling apart. When open palms soothe hovered backs, rubbing out all the tears so that they can now flow freely, where the men fill up the empty air in the room where his voice used to linger, and the women fill up the air where her voice used to linger, and they turn on the game so it feels like he or she is still there, where you aren't allowed to forget, because memory is one of the gifts folks stop by to share with you. The way Black people show up. Ashe, 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 ashe. There's a beautiful presence in us. So I'm going to go through some of these poems, but I'm going to hip y'all to this now because y'all logged on. That means y'all my people. And that means that you guys are hearing the first time forever sneak preview. Because hold on, baby girl got sound effects. You are hearing poems from my new chapbook that will be released on May 1st. So, hey, right. I want to be a poet. I want to be a poet like I am Black, like I am woman, naturally and boldly. I want to wake up a poet and go to bed a poet the same. Difference is, my Black didn't need so much practice, but my woman did. But my woman never liked my editing, but my poetry does. My Black never gets edited, not for no one. I'm gonna be a poet today. Before I go to sleep, I'm gonna write out the truth, edit her fine, set her free, and she'll be my Black woman poetry. Edit her fine. Yeah, yeah. Next poem. May we never venture so far that we lose our direction back to ourselves. May we never invest so deeply in our dreams that our lives keep us complacent being asleep. Ask yourself, do you know what love really sounds like in a whisper, or in a laugh, or just in its silence? Ask yourself if you can tell the difference between when love is visiting or when it's in its residency. Ask yourself if you could answer these questions about yourself. A short, sweet little poem. You still get all my poems, the good ones and the ones that I know I could write better. Ashe. So a lot of my poetry is written to draw some intersection and some alignment between the process of writing and the process of loving and the process of praying. They are often intertwined and intersected. So this next poem that I wrote recently is one of my most recent poems, and it's becoming one of my favorites. You know, there are people in your life that you see make mistakes, or you see do things and you go, oh, no, never mind. Or, oh, I used to do that when I was, no. And I feel like in real life, I have been read enough by women that I respect to know better and to see myself when I am wilding. And that has been so helpful and significant. And as I get older, I am learning how to do the same. And I'm learning how to say the things that I need to say to people, largely women, and really like support them knowing better so that they can do better. So I'm in that learning. This is called My Real Talk. My poetry slow dances, sometimes whines. I really want her to be able to dance to soca or have her twerk a little. See, my poetry closes her mouth when she burps and almost never reveals the fact that she gives a side eye, smacks lips, and talks shit. She holds the best digs. But my poetry doesn't put on her booty shorts. Instead, she puts them away and puts on a fancy dress. But I wish she was cool just being naked. I want my poetry to curse, to say, fuck you and your shit, you ain't shit, whenever she really wants to. I want my poetry to have a smart ass mouth, to drink hard liquor and occasionally roll trees, so that my poetry could finally be real, talk my talk and reek of all my other sides. But instead, when I go to write in a poem, I just say, excuse me, tuck away the truth, and smile. Connected to this poem is this phase 2 of that. But when I erupt, my mouth like a volcano, tucking fire under my tongues, cool and calm to the eye. There are times when I am triggered, though, by ego, when I am doubted, when there is disbelief, stirring the lava inside to a boiling point. I try to keep cool, to keep my mouth shut, but the burn is intense. The prying open of my lips seems so necessary when I boil over with anger, so I just burn shit down. This is the poem that I want to tell her, that I want to read her, but instead I'll be quiet. This is what I am not saying to her and myself. I pray that you learn to be quiet in these places you feel the need to scream. That you loosen up the grip and let it breathe. Learn that breath is ritual, not propaganda. That teachers don't ridicule to make students, they listen, often more than they speak. That darkness and shadow are permanent, aren't permanent unless you wish them to be. But they are heavy and can be messy and can soil places, people, and time if you are not careful. That words don't have to be only prayers or weapons. That they can be wishes and affirmations and compliments. You are allowed to compliment someone else without needing anything in return. You are allowed to be nice and endearing even as you heal. Survival is not an excuse, even if it is motivation. You can be beautiful and sexy and erotic as quietly as you are loud, because you are those things and more, even when no one is looking. You are when no one is looking. Be you when no one is looking. The fool you, the learning and the learned you, the vulnerable and the brave you, the student and the teacher, the woman, the girl grown up you. I pray this all for you. Word. Ashe. You know we ain't gonna have no church, no prayer without talking about sex, because so this next poem is just a poem that be the you when no one is looking. Ashe, right? This kind of connects to that. You know, my lover got these hands, these ordained hands, prayer hands opened up to fix things. He can fix almost anything. When I hold them hands of his, it's like I'm closer and safe. A certain kind of protected. John Henry building strong hands. His hands shape my bruises and make them into monuments. And when he touched me, pain hides somewhere else. Far, far behind my own pleasure. Like he's touching and making it all okay or easier to bear, even if I can feel it all. And when I feel him rubbing that open part of his palm all over me, holding me in place, keeping me together, healing me, really healing me, I think about the fact that he may not even know that he's doing it. And then I think about the fact that I know he knows he is. And I know that's why he's doing it. Ooh, child, them John Henry like hands. Them is game changers. This next poem is one that I think I've posted on my IG story, and I did it, and no one responded, and I was like, y'all got real quiet once I started talking about this. And I understand, because you know we are taught certain things, particularly women, about the way we are supposed to be. And I feel like my writing has been a journey in learning what I thought and then what I want to believe based on what I thought and what I want to relearn. And what I ain't learned that I want to learn. You know what I'm saying? I don't pretend at all to know it. And this poem I wrote because a good friend of mine told me once upon a time, it was the greatest thing ever. He said, you know, pussy isn't magic. And I was like, first of all, you don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. And he was like, that's cute and everything, but it's not. And I was like, I just don't understand how you could feel that way. You love women, like you this is your jam. This is what you do. And he said, because the experience is with the person. And so you could have somebody who whatever, but it's about the person. And you know, too often you thinking you gonna keep a dude because of it, and it's like, nah, because it's accessible. Like, it's very easy to get. Like, that's where you get confused when you think about fidelity. It's easy. It's like the bodega on your corner or the liquor store is not unique. They all sell liquor. If you drink liquor, you find liquor. And I was like, oh, snap. And it shifted this idea of thinking that I had to be the best lover to keep a lover. And I was like, wow, what am I if I don't define my value as a lover through that? So I wrote this poem and I'm sharing it with everyone so that you know. I do got that glitter bomb. Come in front and sits on enemy line. Spitting bars unparalleled. Can't fuck with mine. Been in boot camp training. And now is the time. You see, my love, she can't be defined. You see the roots of my... Yeah, we won't get into that. But I definitely have that glitter bomb. The glitter bomb is about the everlasting effect. You are right. But of all the reasons you find a lover, get a lover, or keep a lover, your pussy will not be the reason why. It won't save, change, or surrender anyone. Because your pussy is not magic. Not in the ways you imagine it to be. Supernatural, it is. Divine, it is. Magical, it can be. But it's not magic enough to make you enough. Or more than enough for anyone else. But your light, your heart, your spirit is magic. And that will be every piece of the reason that someone loves you, wants you, seeks you, and works to remain in your world. I said, that's a whole accountability change when I have to do this for me, not for a lover. Ciao, it's a journey. But I discovered this in the journey. And yeah, you know, you are not honorable mention. Not made up of surplus or leftover time, love, or considerations. You are constructed of more than sacrifice, of compromise, of that will do. It's hard to think of yourself differently. But when you do, those who have just in case or saved you for later will no longer be desirable or candidate for your wonder. It is a long road to those kinds of discoveries. In the conversation about your magic, this is a new poem called When I First Met My Body Again. I met my body for the first time ever today. She is full and firm and flat and hard and soft and dances in the moves of Orisha like prayer spoken with a chorus of 1,000 ashes echoing behind her. Today, she tasted freedom and joy and devoured it so. After years of starvation, she feasted on the God living in her walls, flowing through her temple, crowning her head. She danced, saluting every ancestor statued atop her shrine. She offered her dance, and the rejoicing that took place made her whole again and again. And every breath was a declaration that life has a home here in her body and always has. Every open heart, a thank you. Each stretched arm, an invitation for more healing, pleasure, growth, and strength. Flat feet found flexibility and dug down into the earth and arched back with the air, a natural prostrate with inhales, giving thanks for all that is and can be. and has been discovered, and that is waiting for me to find. In my own body, I made love in a dance with my singular body and the audience of ancestors. I sang out prayers with my body for the Orisha. I can't ever go back because today I met my body. And oh, how glorious she is. Y'all good out there? Y'all need water or crackers or something or liquor? It's time. It's 1:30. You can have whatever you need. Y'all good? Let me know y'all good. Put a comment or a heart or a question. If you got a poem that you want to hear in particular, you could throw that up there too. You know what I'm saying? How glorious she is. Ashe. This is a poem in the same conversation of the meaning and the understanding of our bodies. You'll see that tagged on this is my website. My website will be the place that you'll be able to go if you want to purchase some of the older poetry from Small Water Woman. It'll also be the place where the YouTube channel is, so you can log on and you'll be able to rewatch this in your own time. And because you are here, if you DM me from here, then I'll be able to put you on our I do this by myself on my list so that you can be first to receive our pre-sale copy of my chapbook coming out on May 1st. Pre-sale is May 1st. All right. I get it from my mama. Shout out to getting it from your mama. Hey, get it from your mama. Just a little bit for the people. Literally, there's only a little bit there to give people, but it's all good. So, my mama, shout out to Ray Ray. Y'all know my mama. Y'all remember my mama? Okay. I be talking about her a lot in my poems. I don't think she appreciates it. But this one's a good one. I get it from my mama. My mama is profoundly feminine, a masterpiece of delicate. Always wanted to mirror her woman. I dressed up in her style and looked silly. Painted on her face and it didn't fit me. Sprayed too much of her sweet to be taken seriously and could never get it quite right. So, imagine the excitement when my hips stretched wide naturally and my thighs rose up and thickened. I was growing into legs like my mama. The legs she set a dance floor afire with, stood statue tall in heels with, and could cross ankle or knee by. I learned to switch knowing I had legs like my mama, with no clue of what my legs would be good for. I can't find the 2 and 4 easily on the dance floor like she does, and I can cross my legs, but I prefer to sit with them open. And my feet, well, they're flatter than first earth assumed. But then last week, weary and worn, my mama sat side to mine on the couch. I laid my grown woman head on my mama's lap and I cried, made pillow of her hip just long enough to remember when I first discovered my mama's magic. How the body of a woman she converted into an altar for my sorrows. I put my head to hip, my cheek on her thigh, and I remembered that only my mama can soothe all my pain away. Only my mama can suspend all my time, and only my mama can make everything okay. In that moment, I have never been happier to know that I got my mama's legs. And though they get looked at, they're not really for show. They're more for healing and a special kind of magic that now I know. I get it from my mama. Insert juvenile. All right. Shouts out to all of the mothers, whether you are biological, whether you are spiritual, whether you are financial, meaning you a sugar mama, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're sexual, meaning like you just put it on them with that, care, whatever. A shouts out to all of y'all chosen. Hey, Emma. Look, y'all, Emma on here. That's my friend. Hey, girl. Hey, Erin. Yeah. So, I spent most of my life, which is crazy to say, in Washington, D.C. And I was proud to be a part of all of the communities that I was a part of. Yeah, Candace, your mama DM'd me about how she made you them greens and macaroni and cheese because it looked real good. And I was on this panel yesterday with beautiful young people who were just vibrant. They were talking about the movement, and it was amazing because they talked about the intersectionality of gender and race, particularly for Black women in the movement. And all of the young brothers were quiet, but they weren't passively quiet. They were making space for the sisters to talk. And that's what they said. They said, our responsibility is to center and listen to the needs of sisters and then respond accordingly. And we can't expect them to feel protected if we don't protect them. Then one brother was like, don't you understand that trans Black women are murdered by Black men at a higher rate than any other population? I said, well, y'all are different. Y'all are different, a different generation. I'm gonna turn on my light, Juba. Tell me if this, there we go. Like that. It's a different generation. And I thought about how much I wished I had that. And so this is a poem I wrote. Woo! We'll talk about it afterward. We're going to talk after about this one. All right. This is a poem for the brothers. The brothers who say they are down for all the causes us sisters fight. That they're cool with us marching, protesting against, fighting against, whatever. That they support us wearing dashikis or booty shorts. That they are fine with us having perms or short fros. That they accept us having girlfriends or male lovers or both, whatever, if we want it. Who don't mind when we curse or twerk or do it at the same time. Who are okay with us smoking weed or wearing crystals or our beads. Who apologize in public as spectacle, but never in person, one-on-one. Who get mad at the brothers who know how to show up, who know when to stand up, who know when to get out the way. The brothers who really know how to listen, how to relearn, and how to own their own privilege. The ones who know that their feelings don't matter. For the brothers who say they're down for whatever sisters want us to do, those are the ones who don't know we ain't never needed their permission in the first place. I could tell you very specifically who this is about, but I feel like y'all already know. Y'all know who this is about? Hey, Damari. Aw, thank you, boo. Shouts out to Damari. That's my boo. She's one of my kids. I mean, she's a young woman now. Ow! Griot girl grown up. Yeah, there is a lot. There is a lot to be learned about. Derek, you one of the real ones, because you know who I'm talking about the not real ones. The ones who apologize in person on a microphone at a Black love celebration and center themselves in their own trauma to make it about them once they have shamed Black women publicly. Right. I said what I said, and I'll name names where I need to name names, because that's what we're doing today. Right. Oh, you know, because honest teas, those are the good brothers, the righteous brothers. Oh, I'm talking about, come on. I thought you knew. Jason, you one of the good brothers. Yeah, you got it. I name names now, because we done with that quiet stuff, because the quiet stuff don't serve nobody. Church, y'all there? Church, say amen if you there. Ashe, amen. Whatever you need to say, because silence don't serve nobody. Don't nobody get free from being quiet unless we on the like Underground Railroad, and then you got to be quiet because you don't want them to hear. Okay, but other than that, silence don't serve nobody. And this is why I'm going to read this. You know I'm a mess. This is why I'm going to read this poem. And I'm going to work real hard not to cry, y'all. That's why I'm going to take my glasses off so that I can't see y'all. Let's take a collective breath. Yes, we're breathing. Facebook, y'all breathing. Instagram, y'all breathing. YouTube, y'all breathing. Okay, we breathing. If ever I break the promise to be here, to show up for you in voice and body, and am absent, know that I failed to ask for help. Know that all my rhetoric about sisterhood and self-care was just rhetoric, and that I failed at practicing what I preached. But know I failed and tried a whole lot, but couldn't unlearn the age-old tradition of pouring out all my cracked teacup could pour, because the delicate china of my foremothers was too pretty and too sentimental to replace with sensible, sturdy cups or mugs. So I kept it, poured into it, knowing it would leak and never get full. And as it wet both saucer and napkin, I still poured out of it whatever was in there, emptied it, because someone needed what I had left. And I believe in the sisterhood enough to believe that someone would pour back into mine, even as broken as it is. So if I ever don't show up for you when you need me to or expect me to, know that it is because my cup has nothing left in it. And none of us, no matter how much we want to, can run on empty. Not even me. We can breathe. Yes, we can breathe. Yeah. Y'all all right? Let me put my glasses back on. I used to wear contacts, but the hay fever I got don't let me. Yeah. So I often have to remind myself that I'm a woman of many names, and I do that because the names are significant. Each name is a prayer. My name, Goldie, is my grandmother's name and my great-grandma's name. I was talking to my mama about that yesterday. Like, because we had picked up some other ancestors that had different trajectories, but it's cool. I walk with it. My middle name is my great-grandmother's name. My Ifa name is Ifa Yoshola. I don't hear that very often. I also have an Oshun name. My Oshun name is Oshunjai. Don't hear that a whole lot. But part of the value of hearing those names when I hear them is remembering who I am and whose I am. I am a highly favored child of Obatala. And so part of that magic is the wearing of whites and what that means. I am a woman of many whites. I have a closet of white, ground sweeping, hip hugging whites of all textures. Clothes that hold stories in their creases are folding according to time and place. They are bookmarks in my story. I have a closet of timeless whites, tucked away in my closet in a stiff plastic case. My wedding dress hangs there, lifeless. The deferred dream and promise of a love still has a piece of sparkle to it, a memory of hope and romance. It's still all white, even with a promise no more. I have a closet of white, the wrinkled cotton of summer days, linen skirts and circle skirts, the evidence that I am cleansed and clean, head wrap hanging there too, clothes for ritual work and after work. I have a closet full of my good Obatala whites, the kind that have lace overlays and intricate patterns woven of continental design, fancy enough to make Ia, Yeye, and Baba proud, always 2 parts of top and skirt to make the ensemble whole. I have the newest white added to my collection. Will never find use for its bows or fit its structured bodice. Never to slide into its comfortable wear or sport its modest length. It is beautiful and stained with the label of funeral white. I promise I will never wear it again. And though I have a closet of white, none of that changes the fact that I have been wearing black every day. Every day after I wore my last white. That was written in 2017, clearly, because I have on lavender today and I be wearing white now. But you know, once you wear stuff to certain occasions, it becomes labeled with that. And I'm just like, sell that back on Etsy. Sell that on eBay. Don't nobody want that no more. Because, you know, black people love to wear white to a funeral. Y'all good? How y'all feeling out there? Any requests? What y'all doing? Y'all are, is it going good? I told you it's surprises. So I want to do a quick shout out of some poets that I am inspired by, because the reality is that you become a good poet by reading great poets. And so often, hey Connie, so often we get caught up in our favorites and the classics of like the Sonia and the Hockey and the Lucille that we bypass, or we don't open up to see our peers that are doing amazing things, right? For every time I read a Lucille Clifton poem, I just go ahead and read a Mahogany Brown poem because I'm just like, sis, you just can write like that. That's what they decided you was gonna write. Oh, okay. So what I want to do is I want to give a quick shout out to some poets who inspire me, who have books that y'all should buy, because we are in a whole pepperoni, okay? And artists don't get paid during a pepperoni unless you pay them. Y'all hear that? Artists don't get paid unless you pay them. Part of the way you pay them is you hire them to perform their art, or you just give them money if you need to. My cash app is Goldie Patrick. You could give me money, or you buy with their art, right? So don't just take the screenshot from Google. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead to that artist page and buy it. Invest in their art. One of them, oh my goodness. Screenshot this, y'all. You have to buy this book. You have to buy this book. On God, you have to buy this book. I'll put these books in my IG. You got it? If you have this book, you know, put your little hands up and maybe I'll give you a shout out. You have to buy this book. You see this? The University of Hip Hop Poems. You got it? Boom. Catch a Glow. You have to buy it. You see it? Shouts out to the homie. Yes, Catch a Glow. It's everything, right, Corinne? Gotta buy it. And then, last but not least, Detroit Girls Don't Play. Can you see it? On Breaking Back. Together. There you go. Boom. So now you have no reason to be bored at home. Instead, you have to read those. I have to write a poem. Like I have to wash my hair or file my taxes or check in with an elder in my family. Something I know how to do, need to do, and that doesn't stop it from being hard to do. Perhaps if I did it more often, made it more ritual, let it be less ceremonial, then it would be easier, or maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it would be like working out or like doing a new hairstyle or even remind me of sex with my lover. You know, more exciting when it works you, makes you sweat, makes you find a new part of yourself and takes you farther. Perhaps it's not just one or the other. New and familiar, intimidating and rewarding, invigorating and exhausting. And the whole time, it's everything, all of it. All of the above. Hey, Camille. So, I love Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis, and I love them for so many reasons. And I remember maybe 2 years ago, a couple of years ago, I was at the intersection of Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis, and I was like, oh my God, this epitomizes Black love, even though it's a police station. But I was just so caught up in the idea of an intersection of two giants. And then, you know, as I've grown, I've had to check myself around over romanticizing someone else's relationship, knowing that all relationships have dynamics to them. But what I love about Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee, without knowing the details of their romantic life, is that partnership is what we learned from them. And they were intentional about teaching us. If you watch them, videos of them, just the shared space of talking. You know, one don't talk more than the other. They listen actively and affirm what each other says. And they do it in interview, but they also do it in art. So when you watch their scene work together, it's just, it's a master of listening and sharing. And I was like, if that doesn't, for me, epitomize Black love and partnership, oh, child, what? So I Want to Kiss You on 123rd and St. Nick, which is the intersection of Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis. I want to kiss you naturally, unforced, holding hands, waiting at a light, gently, talking about the day or the game or the people on the other side of the street. Then you squeeze my hand to signal a kiss in remembrance, in ritual to what it is to be Black and artist and partner and in Harlem or in this world of this work. I want to kiss you on the side of the street that still smells like you. like home. Under a moon, getting full, plumping up and showing out, bright lights and almost obnoxious, but brilliant. Right there at 123rd and St. Nick on a corner in Harlem. I want to kiss you. That's cute. All right. Y'all good? Y'all in there? We in there. I'm going to do one poem and then I'm going to bring in a homie, a surprise. So, I told you guys earlier about this idea of wearing white and the responsibility of walking with, yes, I'm good, Allie. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. So I wanted to read this poem in particular because, there are so many levels to the politics of being woman, being feminine, being femme in a world that can sometimes feel like it's centered on masculine and men. And, we all got messed up when Love Jones came out and Lorenz Tate was like, say baby, can I be your slave? I've got to admit, girl, you're the shit girl and I'm digging you like a grave. Daughter to the spinning pulsar, queen of a 2000 moon, sister to the distant yet rising star. Is your name Yemiya? Oh, hell no. It's got to be Oshun. Is that the smile of me put on her face? Child wild as a field of jasmines in bloom. Walk that walk, money. Talk that talk, honey. I'm messing it up. But we all was like, ooh, because he was like, oh, hell no, you got to be Oshun. Which somehow made Oshun seem like the quintessential feminine. That ain't even a thing. Like, that's not how any of this works. There's no one kind of woman that is quintessential feminine anything. But as a result, Hoteps, whack brothers, be trying to spit that game with that, oh, you a Oshun, sis. I see you. You all Oshun. You know what I'm saying? You all, yeah, I get it. And I'll be like, is that the only one you know? Is that, you know what I'm saying? Yes, O-Dog said that. And I'm just like, why are we using such divine force to really marginalize the identity of who I am? So I get into these situations, well, when outside was open and when I lived in DC, because I was outside in DC. Anyway, you know what I'm saying, where brothers would really try to spit that, is your name Yemen, y'all? Oh, hell no, it's got to be your shoe. And I would just be like, sit down, sir. I'm Obatala. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm your daddy. Sit down. So I wrote this poem to describe that experience. She is Chief is the name. He, talking loud with puffed out chest, challenging me on all my righteousness. He, strong, hiding away, planning for war, telling me I'm not as tough as before. He came with a message, but playing games, trying to trick me by acting like we all the same. They all stood, looked me eventually in the eye, called me honey, sweet, and all three tried, doing it through surface flattery, told me who I could and couldn't be, in clean white cloth from head to toe. I sunned them all. I guess they didn't recognize me, though. All right, Makayla, are you here? So, I gave y'all an example of some of my favorite poets that have books out. I'm always inspired and impressed to see that the young women that inspired me since they were like 14 are still going strong. And they're some of my favorite poets. And one of them is MaKaylaLorick. Yeah, go ahead. Ask to come into the chat, because now I feel like an old lady and don't know how to do it. And so she's just an amazing person, an incredible poet. And in addition to that, she is also an amazing scholar and mother and just bomb. And she cute. And she are you about to have a pretty girl summer, pretty bitch summer, or hot girl summer, or something I don't know? We need to discuss this. But I invited her to share her work. So let's see. Hopefully I don't mess up stuff. Because you think you hip until you start trying to work on somebody's technology. There you go. Send request. Did I do it? I don't want a Teddy Riley jam. Because that's the worst. Hey! Hey, boo!
I got my scarf on, but I've been listening.
I appreciate you having your scarf on because I should have had mine on because over here, on these here parts, I had to make sacrifices and compromises. And so I'm glad to have you. You gonna bless us with some of your genius?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been trying to ease back into like the habit of writing. I've actually been reading, I don't know if you've heard of it, The Artist's Way by Julie Cameron.
Yes.
Yeah, because this entire pandemic.
Writing, and I just,
Wait, let me make sure I didn't mess up anything because I don't hear you.
I live in Section 8 housing, but yeah, like living in Section 8 housing, and that's been like really challenging for me because I'm like, I graduated college, like, why am I here? Like, I've been stalling. And then it's just like, yeah. So some of those things I've been thinking about, and I've been starting a project about like that experience being here.
Word. If you were to articulate a need, if you were to say to your community, right, this is what I need, because it's not going to be an ultimate problem solver, but it may be an answer, a response, or a prompt towards a problem solver. What is how would you define your need?
Right now, I know exactly what it is, and it's definitely community. It's being around like-minded individuals. I mean, when right before the pandemic hit, you were hitting me up, like in DC, like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that, like, come on. Mm-hmm. And that to me was life,
Word.
That was life. And so it's definitely community.
Okay. So y'all heard it. Makayla needs community of like-minded art, politic, Black mothers, family, and where exactly? Not your address, but where are you again?
You're fine. I'm in Charles County. I'm at Waldorf.
Waldorf, Charles County. Boom. So we gonna officially put this out there, and then when you get back in the chat, you gonna put your cash app. Oh, that rhymes. That's a haiku. When you get in the chat, put your cash app, girl. We'll work on that.
That's it.
Well,
artist cash app haiku.
Yep. Do you have a poem you would want to share?
Yeah. So this
Bless
one
us.
Actually, I've been like looking at my patio, and I haven't done anything to it. They're not gonna do anything to it, so I'm like, it's time to plant some things. And then Zara, my daughter, Zara's 4 now, Goldie.
I know, she's so big.
Zara like gave me a bar. she gave me a bar. I'm like riding with her, and she's like, she has a microphone, and she's like, the flowers really grow in the heart of the soil. And I'm like,
oh snap.
That was it. That was what I needed, right? So yeah, I have this poem called "They Don't Plant Flowers in Your Section 8 Plot."
Ooh.
So
let's hear it.
All right. They don't plant flowers in your Section 8 plot, but you must find the garden yourself. Figure a rose bush, gardenias out of the grass patchwork. Clean the mud from the bottom of your white fence. Dream that cucumbers, habanero peppers, and big boy tomatoes might grow even when the sun resists to lend them its shine. They don't plant flowers in your section plot, but you must see the vision yourself, a map in you, an artist, horticulturist. Discover light even when the windows fall on one side of the house. Compose conversations with a voice that whispers it only takes a dream. Just the part, and buy the tools. The flower gloves and spade. Recall the first clink of your keys, the invitation, a calling you chose to answer, the beckoning you ran towards. Do you remember your first desire to be the childlike fantasy that you could be anything, everything, and nothing at all? They weren't supposed to plant flowers or debug your garden, because who else would have known to love the blossom out of that dirt like you? And that's it.
Makayla, you are absolutely brilliant. Jesus, you be writing. You be writing.
Book, for real. Like, I have your book on my shelf.
Yeah, but I need yours, because yours, listen, yours is going to make me better. Do you have a desire for it to put, yeah?
It's starting. It's really starting, Goldie. Like, I'm feeling this huge shift in self. Like, legit last week, I was like, you know, like, I'm purposed to do this. Like, was natural, was in my nature. So
yeah.
Well, I'm working on that book. I love you too, Ayana.
Listen, you have my uninvited and unconditional support, whatever you need. Derek Weston Brown says, keep writing. He's one of my favorite poets. He is one of my favorite poets. I will work with you to figure out how we can get your poetry book out. And in the meantime, I'm gonna take you off here so we can put you in the chat so you can put your information and your Cash App. And I will make the first $25 Cash App drop in your account just because you are brilliant and I want to support you.
I love you.
I love you.
Back in community with you.
Always. Our community is not geographic, it's spiritual. Always.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Love you.
Yeah, I don't know how to get out of
Girl, me neither. Let me see.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a room.
I mean, I guess I can leave and come back.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna navigate through the technology because I can't pretend to know more than I know. Makayla is amazing. She graduated at the top of her program at her very white PWI and challenged them all the way while raising her daughter. That is cinnamon, by the way, Candace. You know that, right? That is cinnamon. I am going to read a poem that Makayla and all of her sisters inspired me to write, and it is a reminder. y'all. A thank you notes to girl poets. You will write a poem that will save a life, a sister's life, not because you're a superhero that you read about or a crime fighter in clothes that are impeccably tight and you're a built Barbie doll perfect enough, but you'll save a sister's life because you will write your own words, considerations, air your mystery, bleed through verse, reverse the lies of your lineage in lyric, and she'll learn bravery. And she can bandage raw wrist from cuts, cuffs, and clutches too tight against her will. With your words, your poem will substitute notes of sorrow and suicide and become speakerphone for the silenced. When you write, you will save a mama's life. You will become the one to save a mama's life who once was young in their once upon a time and accidentally packed away their wildest dream while making dinner, while making home, while making love, while making sure everyone else is okay. You will help them to remember the way their selfish dresses their dreams, the savor of their lost smile and laugh when you write. Makayla, you must write because it will save your own life. When you sit alone to scribble out despair and listen to the voices, learn their names and why they speak to you. They will teach you how to survive your anguish. Make poems from the could-be eulogy of your lonely. Craft love poems from imagination into prophecy. Give them a page to live on so you can live on, so that they will help you save your own life. It'll be natural and necessary. It'll heal. Through the saltwater storm, the bloodshed, the vacancies in your soul, the runaway deep breath, a poem will be born on the other side. When you write, it will last forever. You will live forever. We will live forever when you write. So thank you in advance for being brave and girl and writing and saving all of our lives. I got to talk to my therapist about that, because I think that may be too much to put on somebody else to save some lives. But you definitely heal with your writing. Hopefully yourself first. Yes, yes. Y'all, we are coming to the 1 hour mark, and this has been absolutely everything. It was Sunday. We did a little twerk on a poem. Hey, yes, we did a little love making, some Donny Hathaway style on the poem. Yes, we gave some good gospel, some whining, some Clark sisters on the poem. And we did some deep breathing, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu on the poem. That is what a Sunday verse is. I just want to remind you guys that you can go to my website to purchase Small Water Woman, GoldiePatrick.com. If you tell me right now you want it, I'll give it to you. Makayla, I know you already have a book, so if there's someone that you would like me to gift a book to, I will. Makayla's Cash App is $MakaylaLorick. I believe, CK, I'm sorry. I believe in putting your investments in people as much as you do in corporations, companies, and the unseen possibility of an Instagram filter. Because y'all know y'all be paying 99 cents for them extra filters, right? So, yes. Andrea, since you did a repost, I will send this. This is yours. This is Andrea's. So, we putting that back there. Before we go out, I will read the poem that has been requested. And I'm going to read this poem because I feel like it's appropriate right now, you know? We centering in on Blackness in this moment, because that is the joy, and that is the answer, and that is the gift, never the curse. Ashe. So I'm going to read a poem. Yeah. Which one? Wait, y'all. I'm going to read this one. We're going to go with this one. Man Child in the Promised Land. Because my adoptive hood of Benning Park, Southeast Washington, D.C. told me I'd make a good mother because I've buried more sons than I've seen go to college, and I refuse to bury anymore. I want the honor to birth and raise a man child a lot like you. The greatest honor I can be chosen to do is to carry a warrior in my womb. Let my umbilical cord carry consciousness like fuel, dripping passion into the veins that will pump of blood and bleed of courage and pride and honor and might. And I want to labor right at the bridge between death and life, and to see a face that looks a lot like yours. So any pain I endure will be swept away by the joy, because in a world where most seek to destroy, I just want to give life to a Black boy. I want to conceive a creator. I want to push and deliver a liberator, the respirator resuscitating resistance to revolutions that exclude him, with Fulani features, Igbo ego, and Maasai masculine, Akan strong, Zulu proud, and Yoruba like the men of your kin. You remind me that it is so complex. I see the layers of your depth, and the fight to gain respect. He'll have to be clever and vigilant to escape the systemic racism of his predisposition. See, his skin will invite in fear and suspicion, and 41 shots wouldn't miss him, and he'll have to reject opposition with dignity. And never forget that even without a hoodie, your Blackness is a threat, and in the same breath, it is God. The contrast of the two may seem odd, and that's why every story that we ever discuss will make the difference between cufflinks and handcuffs. And giving no half of yourself will ever be enough. Righteous living and giving in this world is what will make him tough. I will be sure to tell him, be particular about the words that come out your mouth. They reveal the thoughts you keep in your head. You'll be asked to testify your actions based on the words that you have said. Be strategic and read the books your father and I read, and the ones that we didn't know or have a chance to get. Ask questions with sincerity, not ego. Fear pales in comparison to respect. Share your ideas without the expectations of being understood. Your integrity, not your hubris, will define your manhood. So be fruitful, but multiply only in the arms of love, not need, lust, or insecurity. Even as you pull out from her womb, you leave behind the seeds of our family tree. So ask yourself, is she really worthy to carry the remnants of this legacy? Don't get easily distracted by pretty smiles, nice clothes, and a fat ass. Women, like men, can often wear the mask. Remember that these are your sisters, and your sisters first and your lovers last. So be picky about the women you lay with, because you understand divine femininity. It is not in the skin of all women, it is the perfume of their divinity. Does she mimic me? Wisdom reveals readiness, not in appearance or age. So work on yourself first. The right one will be doing the same. Ask yourself, would you introduce her to the God of your understanding as to why you were created? If before you answered you hesitated, yo, she's not the one. Would you want her to be responsible to raise your son and be your daughter's first example of what God is? See, this is about more than just raising kids. This is what nation building is. Does her purpose feed yours? Are you feeding the disease in the community, or are you working to find the cure? What in the truth are you living for? I can't pretend this is casual or that you have a choice, because you don't. Not at this point. It's a war. You are the target. But it's because you are where the heart is. The idea of your power puts fear in the hearts of cowards. You are more than just baby fathers, because you are the fathers of this revolution. The revolution starts with you discovering your truth. So look into the eyes of the men who have invested in you. See yourself in them. The flowered seeds of strange fruit. And I know you may have been scarred from a time before this, but that doesn't mean you stop. It's more reason to persist. A scar isn't proof of pain. Rather, it's just the opposite. It's evidence that the body will heal itself and the skin will protect during the process. So whatever is toxic, go the other direction. The scars of your experience offer protection, and you can't afford an infection, not at this stage. Upon your conception, your father and I, we prayed. Please let our love create a warrior man-child that saves. Please let our love create a warrior man-child that saves. Please let our love create a warrior man-child that saves. So you make the choice to steer clear of negative and go the other way. If you need a reminder, here are the names: Denmark Vesey, Nat Turner, David Walker, Scottsboro Boys, Emmett Till. Write them down so you never fail to remember that you are one of the black men looking to greet September, despite the stench of death that August brings. Now turn the page. Amadou Diallo, Prince Jones, Oscar Grant, James Byrd, Jordan Davis, Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown. Those are some of the men of my generation that were slain. You and them are one in the same. Son, you're what we need. You get stronger carrying this on your way. You'll never break down if you continue to train. I can look you life in the eye and see flashbacks of all the beautiful divine men of your tribe. Now, there is a tree that I have planted years ago for you to climb. Go ahead, climb it. Get to the very top and let the hood know that it is time. The tree is planted in the hood, y'all. The tree is not on your college campus. It is not in the safety of your backyard. The warriors are in the hood. Make sure they are being listened to. Make sure they are being invested in. Make sure they are being included. This is men and women. Our warriors are in our hoods. They are protected by the bars of their Project 8 housing. They are stirring genius. They are ready. They got fire. Let's make sure we always include them. The tree is planted in the hood, y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all gave me life on a Sunday. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And then reflect and extend that goodness and that kindness and all that love onto somebody else. Any way you choose to or need to. I'll be back. Maybe we'll do this again. Shouts out. Thank you to the Kennedy Center for supporting Sunday Verse and promoting it. If y'all like this, let me know. We'll do it again. And make sure that everybody can come through. If you want to be on the Sunday Verse, let me know. All right, keep a lookout for, my cash app is Goldie Patrick. Cash App, Venmo, all of it is Goldie Patrick because I just can't be creative. And I got to use the aliases for other stuff that the government can't track. So, yeah. Look out on Monday. This will be posted on the YouTube channel. So you can check it out then. All right. I love y'all. Hey, have a great Sunday. All right. Thank you. Y'all are so good. Y'all so good to me. I don't even know how to end it. Look, that's how I end it there.